Hey, what's up guys? It's Grayson from leadcadence.com, and in today's video I want to talk about the difference between branding versus direct response marketing. Now, both branding and direct response have a place in every business, but what we want to make sure we do is keep a clear delineation about the activities that we're doing and which buckets they fit into. So if we start doing direct response activities, but we're really starting to treat them like branding, we're not going to get the sort of results that we want to be getting. So the first thing we're going to do is draw a clear delineation between the two and how we should be thinking about each one of them. Then we'll also get into how to use each one to get the most bang for the buck. So the first delineation I want to call attention to is, what are we trying to influence with each one of these activities? With branding, we want to influence how people feel. These are the emotions that somebody exudes when they think about our brand. Now, for direct response, we want to influence how people act or what they do. Are we getting people to actually go through our sales cycle? Are we getting people to click on our ads, read our sales pages, opt in for something, and ultimately buy? So we're trying to influence their activity. Now, how do we measure each one of these? Well, for branding, there's a lot of soft metrics, and maybe if you're a Fortune 500 company, there's ways to measure this, but for most small businesses, there's not a ton of great metrics in order to tell how well our branding's doing. It's a much longer term sort of investment, and so it becomes difficult to know if we do something for branding, is it having a direct impact on our bottom line, and how long is that going to take? So a lot of soft metrics around branding. Now for direct response, these are very clear cut. So there's a lot of acronyms here, CTR, click-through rate, cost per lead, cost per acquisition, lifetime value of a customer. These are all things that are very easy to figure out now, especially with digital marketing, that we can tell exactly how a campaign's performing based on a couple of key metrics. And just with a few key metrics, we can pretty easily determine, okay, if we spend this much money, this is how much money is going to fall out the other end of that sales funnel. Now, when we're looking at examples of what constitutes branding versus direct response, branding has a number of things like your logo or blog posts you've written or videos you've produced. Those are all going to influence the emotion that somebody has, but once they're done either looking at your video or seeing your logo, is there anything for them to do? If it's really just okay, that's nice and I'll remember them for next time, it's probably going to be branding. Now, if there's some sort of activity that they can take or activity they can do once they've viewed those things, then it's going to start falling more into direct response, like pay-per-click ads, opt-in, sales pages. These have a very clear goal and a very clear outline of the action that they should take. If somebody sees a pay-per-click ad that is written just for them, the whole idea is to get them to click on the ad and ultimately either opt into a page or see a sales page and purchase. So very clear guidelines for what they should be doing, the activities that should be taking place. Now, even big companies, Fortune 500, people that advertise, say on the Super Bowl, you can even see these in commercials on TV. So take like Budweiser, for example. If you watched any of the Budweiser commercials during the Super Bowl, they had some with the puppies and the Clydesdale, and they gave you this great feeling where the puppy comes back and everybody's all happy. But it was a Budweiser commercial. There wasn't a single beer in the entire commercial. So the entire purpose of that was branding. They wanted to influence how we felt, not necessarily give us a clear path to go out and buy a six-pack. Or on the other hand, almost immediately after, there was a commercial for freecreditscore.com. And the whole commercial, they say freecreditscore.com, almost 100 times in a 30-second ad. And the whole point is to get you to go to this website in order to opt in to get a free credit score. Now, ultimately, they want to sell your information or upsell you to a credit card or something like that. But the whole point is to get you to take one action, and that's to go to the website and to opt in for their free credit report. Now, as much as these are very mutually exclusive activities, there is some crossover. So I put, there's a multiplier here. Branding the whole purpose is to build trust, social proof, and that will have an influence on direct response. I mean, any good direct response copywriter is going to try to build in all of these things into a good sales page. And if we've done a good job branding our company, a lot of this is already going to be done by the time we get over to giving somebody a clear path to purchase our product. So one example that just applied to me recently is that was with the new Southwest credit card. You know, I've flown Southwest, I've seen their commercials on TV, I've seen their ads online, but I had never, become I guess a long-term customer until, they sent me a very clear direct mail ad to get me to opt in for a new credit card. So they had built all this trust over time and all this social proof that I knew that they were a good airline, but it wasn't until they sent me a direct offer with a bajillion bonus points that I actually decided to sign up for the credit card and now have become a probably a lifetime customer of that airline. So talking about all these things, there's a lot of differences here, but which one should we be focusing on in our business? So obviously both are very important. However, if you're going to have to pick one, stick with direct response. Now, the reason I say pick direct response is that there are very clear metrics to be able to measure how well we're doing. We can tell with an ad campaign within a matter of days, what's our click-through rate? What's our cost per lead? We can measure this and we can adjust in the short term. A lot of the branding activities we do, because it's such a long-term focus, if we're going in the wrong direction, it takes way too long to course correct in order to get any sort of results from doing these things. So if you start thinking about marketing, or you want to start doing some more marketing for your business, look at ways that you can get all of your direct response materials set up. Once these are outlined, and you have different campaigns set up for each of these, like pay-per-click ads, or you have different opt-ins on your site, then you can start building some more trust, putting out blog posts or putting out videos. But if you start doing all this without a real framework, without being able to capture any of that goodwill, all of it's just going to go to waste. So focus on direct response marketing, fill in with some branding in order to bolster this, and you'll be on your way. So that's all for this week's video. If you like this, leave me something in the comments, click the like button and share it with your friends, and we'll see you next week.